While in the search for the box-top badman, our friend Bullwinkle is pavement-bound in a hurry, for Boris Badenov, disguised as a detective, has thrown him a rope and failed to fasten the other end of it.
I knew I forgot something.
Hokey Smoke, I gotta save him.
And Rocky the plucky flying squirrel plunged downward after his friend. He seized the end of the rope, shot past Bullwinkle, and fastened it to a projecting flagpole. When Bullwinkle reached the end of his rope, the flagpole bent like a fishing rod, then straightened out and snapped him up again right into the window of the World Economic Council, where a meeting was in progress.
What is the next item on the agenda?
I'm not sure, but I think it's me.
On the floor above, Boris was still congratulating himself on the end of Bullwinkle.
Oh, Boris, you are a sly rogue. If you do say so yourself. You were born to be kissed.
But just then, Fiduciary Blurt poked his head into the room.
Oh, Mr. Soames, he's safe. The moose is safe. Of course he's safe. When I do job, I do safe. Well, Natasha, look what you done now.
Not me, darling. Look there.
Wait for me, Bullwinkle. I'll be right up.
Raskolnikov is that idiot squirrel again.
Once more he is hero.
Well, if he is hero, we should give him flowers, right?
Right.
Well, let's do it. Congratulations, little fellow.
Thanks, Mr. Soames.
And to show my appreciation, here is high-class potted palm.
But...
No, don't thank me. It's the least I can do.
And the heavy pot whistled down through the air. Things looked black for our hero. And this might have been the last episode, except that Bullwinkle chose that moment to stick his head out of the window.
Say, Rock, we're... Oh.
Bullwinkle, are you all right?
Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, a palm tree just fell on your head.
Oh, is that all? I thought I had a bad case of the green leafy antlers.
In just a moment, Rocky and Bullwinkle were in the corridors of the council building speaking with Fiduciary Blurt.
Well, gentlemen, you'll never find the box-top counterfeiters at this rate.
But I'm sure they're storing their box tops right in this building.
Why?
Because it's the last place anybody with brains would look for them.
That's why we're looking here first.
You hear that, Boris?
I'm not deaf, Natasha. Dumb, maybe, but not deaf. Come on.
Ah, it's our chief security officer, Hemlock Soames.
And his assistant, Dr. Watkins.
What have you deduced about this case, Mr. Soames?
Simple old chappie. He's obviously work of criminal mastermind.
Is that criminal J mastermind?
No, he means it's some mysterious big shot, Bullwinkle.
Oh.
Then we must be on the lookout for an arch fiend.
Is that...
No, it's not Arch J Fiend.
Just asking.
I still think he has his phony box top somewhere in this building.
Such imagination, eh, Dr. Watkins?
But Hemlock, old bean, that's where...
Shut your English dialect mouth, Dr. Watkins.
But we've already searched this building from top to bottom.
Then for a change, let's search it from bottom to top.
We'll go clear down to the basement and start all over again.
Right, Rock. Come on!
And Bullwinkle stalked off toward the elevators.
No, Archie, what's-his-name is going to get the betterment of Bullwinkle Moose.
Oh, I do hope he doesn't try to use the elevator. That's out of order.
What?
If I know Bullwinkle, he will. Wait!
If you didn't done it yet, done did it.
Too late, for Bullwinkle at that moment opened the door of the elevator and stepped right into an empty shaft.
Whoa!
Don't miss our next episode, Fall Story, or Adrift in the Lift.
And now it's time
For 5 or 6 baritone solos in the key of E.
But
Ooh.
now for another of our special features.
Should have tried E flat.
That's it, Junior. Set the chair down right on the starting line.
But, Pop, are you sure this'll make a track star out of me?
Positive. All right. On your mark, set, get.
Get?
Right. Get into the chair.
Oh, gee, Dad, I'll never beat Romulus and Remus this way.
Oh, yes, you will. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Which brings to mind...
Another fable?
This one I call The Hare and the Tortoise. Once there was a hare with an, you'll pardon the expression, unnatural appetite. He not only ate 3 square meals a day, but he ate them every hour on the hour.
Boy, do I love food. Hello. Let me speak to the grocery store. Hello, grocery? This is Mr. Hare. No, not the follicle-type hare, the rabbit-type hare. Look, send me over a bag of walnuts, will you? Walnuts. I gotta have some right away. That's right, walnuts.
Unknown to the hare, the grocery store had just hired a new delivery boy, or rather a delivery tortoise, and we all know how slow tortoises are. It wasn't until a year later that the walnuts reached their destination.
You, Mr. Hare?
Yes, I'm Mr. Hare.
You order walnuts?
Yes, I ordered walnuts, but that was a year ago.
I know. That's why you got walnut trees.
Trees? Nuts. Yeah, I know he's new, but he's still awful slow. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you another chance. Send out a gallon of ice cream, huh? Tutti frutti. And this time make it fast, will you?
Once again, the little tortoise went out on a delivery, and once again, 1 year later, he arrived at the hare's house.
Late again, huh?
Lights were against me.
Look, Turtle. I ordered a gallon of ice cream.
Tutti frutti.
Yeah, tutti frutti. Now, it took you 1 whole year to deliver it. I can imagine what kind of condition it's in.
Well, it is a little loose.
I can imagine.
You still want it?
Of course I still want it. Let me have it. Look, I tell you, if this keeps up, I'm going to take my trade elsewhere. I will. I'll tell you what. I'll give you 1 more chance, just 1. You got any sticks of TNT? I'll fix that, Turtle. Oh, good. Well, send me out 1 stick of TNT. Oh, and do me a favor, will you? Put a 1-year fuse on it and light it. You heard me. I said light it.
Well, sir, it was the same old routine. The tortoise left the grocery, and 1 year later...
Sorry I'm late, Mr. Hare, but did you order a stick of TNT?
I not only ordered it, Speedy, I had it lit so it'd blow up on you. That's for being so slow with my walnuts and ice cream.
Well, I apologize for being so slow. Here's your TNT. They had a 2-for-1 sale.
You heard me. I said fire him.
But, Mr. Hare, I need a delivery boy.
Okay, fire him, hire me. I just happen to be the fastest creature in the forest.
Second fastest.
Do you mean to imply, Tortoise, that you can outrun this hare?
Sir, I could beat him standing still.
And so it was decided that the hare and the tortoise would meet in a race. To the victor would go the job of delivery boy. At the sound of the gun, the contestants were off. Or at least one of them was. Now, this particular tortoise may have been slow of foot, but he was fast in the head. He was well acquainted with the hare's voracious appetite.
Ooh. Does my nose deceive me? Or can that be the intoxicating aroma of carrot scallopini? Hello, tortoise. What's cooking? Carrot scallopini?
Yeah, carrot, whatever you said.
Yeah, smells good. You got enough for 2?
No, just enough for 1. I'll let you have it, except you've got to run in the race.
Oh, now, don't let that bother you. I'll eat now and fly later.
Would you mind if I ran while you ate?
No. Be my guest. I'll catch up.
But the hare's appetite got the better of him. He sat there for 3 hours consuming every bit of carrot, whatever it is he said. And who can run on a full stomach?
Did the tortoise win the race?
With ease.
Oh, I see what you mean by slow and steady wins the race, Pop.
There's also another moral, son. One that applies to the hare.
Bet I know what it is.
What?
Haste makes waste. Get it, Dad?
Yeah, I get it, son.
Last time, you remember, the intrepid Bullwinkle started off to find the box-top badman, and as his first step, walked right into an abandoned elevator shaft.
Whoa! There he goes again.
Again? Does this happen often?
Yeah, but not twice in one day. Courage, Bullwinkle, I'll save you.
That's mighty thoughtful of you, Rock.
Bullwinkle, you didn't fall down the elevator shaft.
Was I supposed to?
Isn't the shaft empty?
No, but watch out for that first step. They ought to put up a sign.
Well, what are you standing on?
Oh, nothing much. Just a mess of box tops.
Box tops? Bullwinkle, you've discovered the hiding place.
Where?
Right there.
Sure enough, that abandoned elevator shaft was the hiding place for millions of counterfeit box tops. They were stacked from the basement almost to the top floor.
Marvelous. A remarkable job of detection, Mr. Squirrel.
Thanks, Mr. Blurt. Hey, what's happening to Bullwinkle?
Sure enough, as they watched, Bullwinkle seemed to drop lower and lower in the shaft.
Good heavens, he's shrinking.
Nonsense. Who ever heard of a midget move?
It is kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Sure.
But how come my head is bending low?
Somebody must be pulling box tops off the bottom of the pile.
Indeed, somebody was. For down in the basement, Boris and Natasha were shoveling counterfeit box tops into a huge truck as fast as they could.
Boris, darling, I thought this hiding place was foolproof.
Foolproof, yes. Idiot-proof, no.
You got plan, darling?
I always got a plan. They don't ever work, but I always got one.
What is this one?
Wait till Squirrel shows up and I tell you.
How you know he'll show up?
You offer you lovely chump, Natasha? I bet right now he's saying, Hokey smog Bullwinkle. I better go down
and see who's at the bottom of all this.
Wait up, Rock. I'll come with you.
And entering the next elevator, Rocky and Bullwinkle started down to the basement.
See, Natasha, here they come now.
All right, darling. Now what's the plan?
You're taking notes?
Of course, darling.
Very well. Write this down. Into elevator shaft A, I place can of TNTB. When elevator hits plunger C, it blows up like D.
And where are we when it happens?
Where else? OUT. Come on.
And the two villains leaped into their truck and sped off into the night.
You think this plan will work, Boris?
Well, there's a first time for everything, Natasha.
And it looked as if this were Boris's lucky day, for at that moment the elevator came down the shaft A toward the explosive B, it struck the plunger C, and the TNT went off like D. But the result was a little different than Boris expected, for the explosion drove the elevator car up the shaft like a rocket.
That's funny. I thought I pushed the down button.
With a crash, the car burst through the roof and zoomed into the air.
Look! Up there! In the sky!
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's an elevator.
And as the horrified populace watched, the elevator with our two friends aboard disappeared into the clouds.
Boy, they sure got a lot of floors in this building.
I got a funny feeling we're not in a building, Bullwinkle.
Well, I'll just open the door and see. Uh-oh.
Gee, we must be 10,000 feet up.
I don't mind that. It's that 10,000 feet down.
And here we go.
Sure enough, the elevator car began to drop through space. Faster and faster it went.
What do we do, Bullwinkle?
How about pushing the up button?
No, we gotta think.
Rocky, this is no time to take up a new hobby.
And the car plummeted unchecked toward the earth below. Don't miss our next episode, The Ground Floor, or That's Me All Over.
And now, here to tell you everything about anything is Mr. Know-It-All.
Hello, knowledge thirsties. Today's subject is how to sell vacuum cleaners and clean up. Now, the two prime requisites in selling vacuums are the customer and the customee. The customer, or victim, usually lives in a house like this one. The customee, or salesman, has to get in the house. Rule number 1. Always get your foot in the customer's door. Good morning, customer. Would you be interested in... Dutch door, huh? Rule number 2. Find a door one can put one's foot in. Good morning, customer. Mind if I put my foot in your... Rule number 3. Forget rule number 1. At this point, also forget about getting in the door and find another way of getting in, such as a window. That will be an open window.
Look at mess you made.
Oh, sure, customer. I shall rectify that in a jiffy.
Hey, what you doing?
It's an extra feature. It not only cleans up, it dirties up. Wait a second, I shall put it in reverse and suck up everything in sight.
Boy, you wasn't kidding. You picked up whole room. Congratulations. You begged the customer.
Not to mention the customee.
And now it's time...
Time for that jolly juggler, Bullwinkle.
Oh, dear.
3 at once. 1, 2,
And now here's a feature you're sure to like.
3.
In the northern region of Canada at the close of the 19th century, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police held fast to their tradition of, we always get our man. Bleak, cold, lonely. Not a pretty place for a high-spirited girl like Nell Fenwick, daughter of Inspector Fenwick, commander of the post.
You, Dudley Do-Right's horse, are the only one who understands me. You know the longing, the boredom. If only once the Mounties would not get their man. If only once Dudley Do-Right would do wrong like some other men do. I need bright lights, laughter, gaiety. What I'm saying, horse, is that I want to go into show business.
But Nell, you know how your father feels about show business.
Oh, why don't you go out and bring in a man or something?
Very well.
Realizing that her father would never allow her to go into show business, Nell put on a mask and left the camp.
All right. Where the Wheel of Fortune stops, nobody knows. Next contestant, please. Name, please.
I am the masked Jenny Lynn.
Go ahead, Miss Lynn. Rather unusual voice quality, boss.
I'll say this is our chance to go straight again. Look, they're all sound asleep.
Keen. You have just won the Major Snidely Amateur Hour. You get the grand tour with all expenses paid.
It's the masked Jenny So Snidely with his masked Jenny Lynn swept the country. No town escaped the ruthless masked singer.
I really knocked him out in Toronto, eh?
Meanwhile, a man from one of the ravished towns wandered into the mounted police camp.
And, Inspector, you should hear this masked Jenny Lynn. Hoo-wee! Pretty square, eh? Like the squarest. Don't worry. As you know, the Canadian Mounties always get their man. You see, here comes a mountain now.
Nell, I did as you said. I got my man.
Dudley, how many times have I got to tell you? This is a dog. This is a man.
Oh, all right. You're under arrest.
No, not this man. Oh, well, never mind. This is about the squarest Mountie I've ever seen.
That's right, sir. Square shooting Dudley Do-Right at your service.
Dudley, how do you feel about Lawrence Welk?
Only terrific, Inspector. That's real toe-tapping music.
I thought so. Dudley, I have a little job for you. You are the only Mountie square enough to carry it off.
That's me, Inspector. Square and true, eyes of blue.
I want you to bring in the masked Jenny Lynn. And I know you can do it because...
Ta-da!
The Mounties always get their men.
But this is a woman, sir.
Go, Do-Right.
And so one night in Saskatchewan...
Snidely, there's a Mountie out there in the audience.
A Mountie, huh? Listen, baby, I want you to go out there and sing like you have never sung before. This will put him to sleep. Did you put in the cotton, Barney?
Yeah.
Okay, then draw the cut.
Oh, sing it, baby. Mama's little baby lamb shortening. Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do.
Snidely, he ain't sleeping.
Well, then what's he doing?
He's enjoying it.
Oh, turn out the lights and call the law right now. Do-de-do-do-do-do-do. Miss Lynn, I certainly do enjoy your singing, but, well, you see, I am a Mountie, square and true, so I really must...
Dudley, I thought I told you to go bring in a man.
Nell, then you're the masked Jenny Lynn.
Surprise.
So Dudley brought Nell, Snidely, and Barney back to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police camp.
Well, Dudley, you finally did it. You brought in your man. Snidely Whiplash, the most wanted man in the territory of this glorious nation. But tell me, where's the masked Jenny Lynn?
Inspector, just wait till you hear her sing. She's a little old Florence Nightingale, that's what. And here she is, your own daughter, Nell.
Nell? I knew there was something missing around here. You mean, Nell, it was you?
You know, Father, how you've always held me back. Well, I got my break at last. I'm in showbiz. I'm a star. Just listen. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, sing that thing. Shortening. Mama's little baby lamb shortening. jam it into baby love shortening bread. Zoe!
Last time you remember, Rocky and Bullwinkle were shot high into the air in an elevator car.
That's funny. I could have swore I pushed the down button.
Higher than the clouds they soared, then suddenly began to fall, faster and faster. Meanwhile, 10,000 feet below, a huge truck roared through the countryside, piloted by the box-top bad man himself, Hemlock Soames, alias Boris Badenov, and his confederate, Natasha Fatal.
Boris, darling, your plan worked. Moose and Squirrel are out of the way at last.
You said it, kiddo. If all went well, they should be in orbit by now.
But far from being in orbit, Rocky and Bullwinkle were approaching the Earth much, much too fast for comfort.
Well, I guess this is it, old pal.
It sure is. What?
The end.
Oh,
It's been swell knowing you, Bullwinkle.
it has, hasn't it?
Well, let's not say anything more about the terrible fix we're in. Let's talk about something else.
Anything you say, Rock.
Sure is cold, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like an early fall.
Bullwinkle!
Oh, sorry, Rock.
We had a good show while it lasted, though.
Yeah, it was a big hit.
Please!
I meant we were a smash.
That's even worse. We gotta change the subject.
But, Rock, I'm talking about everyday, down-to-earth...
Oh, never mind. I just hope they catch that Hemlock Soames fella.
Well, at that moment, Fiduciary Blurt, the chairman of the World Economic Council, was on the phone trying to do just that.
No, officer. In a big truck headed west. No, west. That's right.
And what did you say was in the trunk?
Not trunk. Truck. And it's full of counterfeit box tops.
Backstops?
No box tops.
Could you spell it, please?
B-O-X-T-O-P-S.
B-O-S.
X-X. B-O-X.
One more question.
Yes?
How do you make a bee?
Eventually, though, Fiduciary managed to alert the state police, and they started after Boris and Natasha.
Listen, Boris. What's that sound?
It's not the song of the open road, sweetheart. Look, quick, we're being followed.
Yes, darling, but not very much.
They're too late anyway. Look, on other side of river is state line. Once we cross King's X, they couldn't catch us.
You mean?
Yes, nobody could possibly stop us now.
But at that moment, a little way upstream, a huge object hurtled from the sky and plunged into the water. Yes, it was the elevator car containing our heroes. In a little while, it bobbed to the surface, and Rocky and Bullwinkle peered fearfully out of the top of it.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I didn't think it'd be like this.
What one?
Heaven, of course. How come it's so soggy?
This isn't heaven, Bullwinkle.
It isn't?
No.
In that case, how come it's so cool?
Bullwinkle, we landed in the river.
Oh.
And we're drifting downstream pretty fast.
Sure enough, the floating elevator carried our boys nearer and nearer to the bridge just as Boris and Natasha started across. The huge truck rumbled forward, then in the middle of the bridge, pulled to a halt.
Boris, why we're stopping?
Use your little red-rimmed eyes, Natasha. The drawbridge is up. Must be boat coming.
Also, is police coming?
Raskolnikov, of all the times for boat to go by. What kind nitwit would go boating at night?
Thanks a bushel there, neighbor!
Boris, is Moose and Squirrel. Boris! Boris, speak to me. Say something.
I wonder if things like this happen to honest people.
They certainly do, for at that moment our heroes were heading swiftly down the river and out to sea.
Bullwinkle, we're heading swiftly down the river and out to sea.
Okay, I heard the man.
Well, now what? You'll find out next time in Fools Afloat or All the Drips at Sea.